tonight on BBC One. At 7 o'clock, Tomorrow's World includes a look at the dangers of driving.
Murray, I've commandeered a vehicle.
The old trick, eh? Eat the telly before I get a chance to nick you.
It's a toaster.
Alec,
You have been defeated. Surrender. You have failed.
Insufficient data.
Nazi ain't got no humanity. They're the foot soldiers of a Jew-hating, mass-murdering maniac, and they need to be destroyed. That's why any and every sumbitch we find wearing a Nazi uniform, they're gonna die.
is this world protected? But you're not the first lot to have come here. Oh, there have been so many. And what you've got to ask is, what happened to them?
Hello. I'm the doctor.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. Good evening, good morning. I hope you're all doing well wherever you find yourself in this wonderful world of ours. I'm wearing a different keeper, so these Jews call these things keepers. My one's gone missing. I sat down, right? I sat down to watch Fallout, which first episode I found excellent, right? I'll talk about it soon, but I really found it absolutely excellent. Rick, a marked, markedly higher quality than the average, right? I mean, I don't know. I watched Star Trek Discovery this week, so maybe, you know, that frits my mind. Could be. I don't know. It's Star Trek Discovery. They put out a third episode already. That means I'm 2 behind. Oh, I got to force myself to watch it. Maybe we'll do another recap on Saturday night. I don't know. I really want to try and stay on that you know, on that ship till the end, right? Even hopefully it's the last thing that's coming out from J.J. Abrams' Trek, right? Hopefully, one can only dream. But yeah, I mean, like that titty show, is that ever going to happen? Did what's the name, the Michelle Yeoh movie ever, did that get that shoot? If it's shot, then it's going to be, they're going to put it out, unfortunately. Although not always. The show I like they shot, but then they released was called Snowpiercer. I hear it's coming out soon, right? Snowpiercer is it's a really stupid premise, right? But I figure it's no more stupid than Star Trek, right? You know, it's the world is frozen. There's this thing to stop global warming, and it causes the entire world to freeze like -80, right? And the only people surviving are on this train. Yeah, I know. And it just goes around and around the world, right? And the train, it used to be about this big class system. You had the first class people, the second class, who basically were the servants, and then the tailies who smuggled their way on. But stupid though it was, I quite liked it, right? I did quite enjoy it. It's on Netflix, I believe, right? It was kind of mindless fun, right? It was interesting as well, which I think I like interesting, right? I like interesting. I heard it got picked up, right? I heard they filmed the season, and it's got like Sean Bean and Jennifer Connelly. Speaking of which, what's that Jennifer Connelly thing that's coming on Apple TV? Because I just cancelled my subscription for it, and I saw there's an was it Apple TV Plus series May. Okay, fine, that should come out now. Dark Matter, right? I just cancelled it, and it's going to run out in a couple of weeks. But I don't know now. There's a interesting sci-fi thing called Dark Matter. It's I might be interested, right? I know. Anything's got to be better than my Dark Matter trailer. There you go. I mean, generally speaking, I find Apple TV a a little bit classier than the rest. I think that's their brand identity, right? They try, like, Constellation was an Apple TV, and it just mad. That show looked good, and it was also good, right? It was also Masters of the Air. That, you know, it's got kind of like big screen, big screen entertainment on your big screen at home, essentially. Constantly, I really enjoy Constantly. So let's have a look at this trailer for Dark Matter. Will I keep Apple TV or not? That's the question. Next question is, am I going to get the second part of Morbius? I don't know.
Didn't happen to me, but you wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Oh, here we go. Wait for this.
To my extraordinary wife, Daniela, I do not deserve you.
That's true.
Okay, now, there we go. Cards on the table. Jennifer Connelly, I find insanely hot. Now, Jennifer Connelly is insanely hot, but in my mind, she's a hotspot Jennifer Connelly, or not quite Labyrinth. She was only like, what, 16 when she made that? Here, 1 second. Let me try and see if I can find a picture from her steamy youth. Jennifer Connelly, Hotspot, which is, one of the most spankable movies I've ever seen, right, without actually being porn. Incredible. Right, I think genuinely incredible. Oh, here, yes, this is the still I always remember. Oh, one of them, right? This is actually one of the less sexual ones. Where is it? I can't show. There's she's topless in a fair amount of it, so I've got to try and avoid those. How about this one over here? Okay, open. Image a new tab. There you go. Doink. That's not the. Still not the picture I was looking for. Oh, here it is. Duh. That's the one. Open a new tab. There. Doink. Fine. Here. Let me just share that. Share screen. Reddit. So yeah, look. That's the Jennifer Connelly that's always going to be in my head, and you know, I'm very happy for that, right? I'm very happy for that. Fine. So let's look at this. That being said, now you understand Rabbi Vision a little bit better. Let's look at the trailer.
A man of science. He is married to the woman of his dreams, and they have a good life.
Have a good day.
Coffee to go?
Oh my gosh, you're my hero.
Until one night, he doesn't make it home. When he regains consciousness, everything has changed. I don't know, it sounds like he's crazy.
It sounds like Constellation. Okay, like, how many times can you do this? Is Constellation with a bloke instead of with a chick? Okay.
I'm not crazy.
Well, crazy people don't think they're crazy. New York Times bestseller by Blake Crouch. Now, it being a New York Times bestseller is somewhat meaningless. That's something you can just buy. Like, publishing company just buy you being a New York Times bestseller.
Who are you?
I live here with you.
Charlie! Daniela! Have you done something to them?
I don't know who you're talking about.
It's Jason.
You know me. I've never served you.
It's not funny. Just tell me you know who I am.
I've never seen you before in my life.
So he slipped into a different reality. I don't think this is renew worthy. In fact, no, you know what I'll do? I'll probably pilot the first episode. I'll pirate the first episode. If it's good, I'll buy a subscription.
Life. I just need answers.
You built the box. Behind every door in there is a version of your life that you could have lived.
You're different, Jason. Stole me from my world, and he brought me to his world. What if the person that abducted me?
I don't know. I mean, it's interesting, right? If this is on BBC Two, I'll watch it.
Is me.
Hey, fam.
Your life is so lonely. Why would he do that? What's the one thing you had that he didn't? He's been different, and I'm scared. I don't know what to do.
but then you say there's Jennifer Connelly in it. Ah, you get me interested again.
I need to use the box to get home.
The world you're looking for is a grain of sand on an infinite beach.
I need to get home to my family.
Wellington, the guy from Kingsman? I guess that was about 10, 15 years ago now.
I want my life back.
Do you ever get that feeling? Want to kiss and hug her? Do it now. Tell her you love her.
That looks cool.
And I can never go home.
I don't know. I think, yeah, I'm gonna pirate the first episode, and if it's good, if it catches me, then I'll pay for it. Right? That's where I am with a lot of this stuff now. Like, I get the first episode. I like the Big Finish, right? Big Finish have this new thing, Dark Gallifrey, Morbius, right? Let me pull that up. And it's just taken me a long time to get into it, right? I've got about 10 minutes of it to go. And it's not bad, right? It's not bad. It's just not very good, right? It's just not very good. Once I stop sharing, doink. You go, Big Finish. And it is so murdered by its cover. It's really weird. It's an audio play, right? And it's just destroyed by its cover. Because the cover is, like, exceptionally bad. It's yeah, I'll show it to you. 1 second. Share screen. Yeah, the cover is exceptionally bad, right? So I didn't realize how much I wanted to hate it going in. And I think a lot of my hatred for it is due to this cover, which is, again, epically bad, right? Epically bad. Okay, so here's why my irritation with it. Okay, so we don't know anything really about Morbius other than he was a deposed Time Lord dictator. And so in voiceover at the bit, okay, firstly, and again, terrible cover with like non-white women dominating, right? And yes, that's a very Big Finish trope, right? Anything but white males, right? White males are bad, right? Generally speaking. So yeah, I'm irritated from the outset. You have this like time ship, which is more like an oldie sailing ship, and the captain they're sailing from Karn on a time voyage after this great war with Morbius. Now here's the problem, right? And it took me about 20 minutes or half hour to get over it, and it blocked me getting into it. They came up with this backstory of this Time Lord war, right? With Morbius, and that sounded awesome. That was like Game of Thrones on ancient Gallifrey. I mean, it could have been epic beyond epic, right? But it was like, again, it was just like a bit of backstory they wrote, and now you got like Morbius been defeated, and he has apparently got a few disciples left living on Karn, and they're hiding on this boat. Whatever, right? Whatever. But there's no connective tissue to Doctor Who, really, right? And so it's got to be a really good, strong story to bring you into it. Is it that? It started to win me over about halfway through, right? I mean, at the first, I'm just irritated. As I said, you got this female captain, you have this young sisterhood of a woman, and again, why does she have an upside down basin on her fucking head? Like, what the fuck is up with this? It looks so stupid, right? It looks so stupid. But okay, but if you can put this out your mind, which is very hard, right? This makes a big impression on me. Put it out your mind. You can see it's a 3-part story. It's a 3-disc release, but it's going to be a 1 unit. It's just like, it's a vaguely interesting story, right? I like this kind of like the seafaring, galley type feel of this time ship. And with like a few temporal things thrown in. There's like some weird spatial anomaly going on. So the ship's shrinking, the internal dimensions are shrinking. And they got some interesting time sensitive in the hull. But yeah, so you know, all that stuff's good. I even like the female captain, right? That kind of works as well. But is it good enough? I honestly no. Right? No, they would have done much better. Right, doing doing the Time Lord revolution with Morbius. Like they're expecting us to know he's a really important bad person. Well, I guess we're doing that. That's why I bought it. But if this in any way confirms the timeless child, or doesn't confirm because it's bollocks. But if there's any way is some kind of support for Timeless, because the timeless child, because you know how what a hard on I have for the brain of Morbius. Oh look, the previous doctors. No, you assholes. That's not what's going on at all, right? It's not what's going on at bloody all. Performances are good. And again, the central story, once I get into it, I'm quite intrigued by it. I quite like it. But honestly, this is for Big Finish in 2012 rather than 2024. It coming out 12 years ago. They put this out like after Davros or something like that, when they were generally much more robust and young and inventive company. Now it's just that their stuff is very, very staid. So it's okay, right? It's okay. It's not really. I don't think I'm buying the second part. I don't know. I've got 10 more minutes of it to go, so I can't give it a full review. I mean, you hear Samuel West for like 10 seconds, and again, yeah. Look, why don't you? Why don't you? Well, it says like Morbius. Why didn't you call it like Stunning and Brave Women, right? Because that's what it is. That's what it is. And if you're embarrassed to say it, why are you taking my money for it, right? But again, I can't give a proper review because I haven't heard the end of the first disc yet. Is it good enough for a second? I don't know. And the Quinn's Dilemma, I can't even get through the second bloody episode of that. Oh, very disappointed. That's the Colin Baker one, right? That's the Colin Baker one this month. In general, what's new? Let's have a look. Hang on. So Morbius one, meh. I'm not really interested in the fifth Doctor Adventures, the Dream Team. It's something with the Dream Crabs again, which I liked a lot in the one episode they're in, but they had them in another one as well. Where did they have the Dream Crabs? If I put Dream Crab, will it come up? Oh, there you go. Classic Doctor's New Monsters. Is that the second or third one? Because I remember the last one being not that great. Yeah, but the Dream Crabs are kind of an interesting villain. Paternoster Gang, I no, not getting me in. Star Cops, yeah, I've decided I've had enough Star Cops in my life. I am enjoying Sontarans versus Routons. I'm very excited it's going to have they're having a War Doctor one. I like the War Doctor, right? Because I feel that's new territory. May, I am so not getting this. Echoes. It's like, how can we come up with a boring title humanly possible? Oh, Echoes. Yeah, something generic that will work for pretty much anything else. You're not getting $23 on me for Laura Mooney, Stuart Pringle, and Dan Robotello. Yeah, no. I don't know why they like farm out new trash writers for the Eight Doctor Age, but they generally do. Yanto's written a Torchwood. Look, good luck for him. I'm not really into it, right? I'm not really. I got out of that range where you know this like left wing hatred of Jews stroke Israel, right? They go, Israel are the most evil people ever, blah, right? That bled into Torchwood. I'm like, leave me alone. And I'm out of the Ninth Doctor Adventures because I just find them so lazy. Right? I can't stand these box sets where they go, oh, look, River's on. That means she's in one episode. Right? And they should be doing more with these and developing a much bigger story. Right? It makes for, I don't mind having the individual stories as well. But, like, it's... they're just all throwaway. They're throwaway, something not worth listening to, and I'm done, right? I'm done. And also a bit too electric. I think they got Trevor Cooper doing a double bill. He's going to cover of Blood Moon and the cover of Night Doctor Adventure. Missy Bad Influence. Oh, God, I'm scared they're going to have the meddling nun back in it. And that, she's just awful. Is an absolute awful character. Was that Patterson Joseph in it? 1 second. Patterson Joseph. Oh, wow. I like Patterson Joseph a lot. He could read the telephone directory and it could be compelling. I like Patterson Joseph. What else has he been in? Any others? It was in Machines. You know, shame he hasn't been more because he's got such a fantastic voice. I would love to hear him as like an Unbound Doctor. Man, okay, David Quantic. I think actually wrote something quite good if I remember. Let's have a look. And Freddie Valdosta. I'm scared of like the ambiguous names, the gender ambiguous names. Might mean we're dealing with a weirdo, right? No, it's not. So, yeah, no. And Lou Morgan stuff is It's normally a bit too horror-ish, right? And it feels a bit incongruous. Like, look at this. Women in space. I mean, like, why don't they just put a sign up saying, "Fuck off! Don't buy this shit." Like, I don't know. Like, I was trying to decide. And this is epically bad. And like, why does she have a plant pot on her head or a potty? She's got a potty on her head. Oh, look, it's an Asian woman. Oh, well, that's okay then. I'm so bored with their sexual politics. Yeah, so I think, is this the month where I'm getting nothing? Yeah, May is the first month, long time. Not planning on getting anything refinished. Nor June either. Not getting the June is apparently when the Celestial Toymaker is going to be out on Blu-ray, on DVD, right? The awful reconstruction of it. Yeah, not getting 13 Doctor Adventures. Do look how they're hiding. What's the name? Sullivan and Cross now. Christopher Naylor and what's the bloody name? Elena Crooks, right? Annette Badland as a toy maker. Says, fuck off, right? Genuinely, with all sincerity, just fuck off with that, right? I can't stop. Oh, God. Yeah, no, even Tom Baker and Jeffrey Beavers will not suck me into this. No fucking way. Annette Badland as a toy maker. Oh, that just annoys me. Hey, why don't we sex swap? I'm like, really? But again, you see how they put Sullivan Cross like right at the back. When did they film this? When they make this? Backstage. 2020. Yeah. It recorded on 20. You see they're deep in Trump derangement syndrome time then. Stay away. Keep clear. Oh, man. 2020 came up with Annette Badland as a toy maker. Last Day Part 2. Last Day Part 1 was like indecipherable. Like all these people turning up, you're supposed to know who they are over like 20 years of the Seventh Doctor on audio. I'm like, I've got them all. I paid for them all. I can't bloody remember all that. Blood Moon, it probably was good. Blood Moon. But again, I'm just kind of out of Star Cop. So I reached the point when it was not the last season. They had 2 box sets, and I listened to the first one. I went, that's okay. Do I care if I never hear any Star Cops again? Right? And I said, no, I really don't. And I think I might enjoy Star Cops more if I don't listen to any more. Right? I really do. And what is this costume Tom Baker's wearing? It looks like I've seen something similar to this. Or no, you know what it is? It looks like the when he dressed as a guard in the Rebus operation, right? With some Time Lord guffins thrown in. Yeah, look, so obviously this was intended to be a three disc box set, and they split it into 3. And this was Tom Baker was their selling point. Taron, I am getting though. This there you go. Fine. June's breaking my non big finish bell. Andy Lane having his books turned into a TV show by Guy Ritchie. Good luck to him. So Andy Lane, James Goss, and Gary Russell. Look, Gary Russell might be a bit of a douche, and he can't make a good reconstruction to save his bloody life. But He's a good writer. I like his stuff, right? I think creatively, I mean, again, he's fucked up so mad badly with those reconstructions. But yeah, these three things about Tarrant's life, I find, and it doesn't go post Getty Prime. I don't know, but yeah, and yeah, it's kind of the few things they can do with Blake 7, right? So it's June. So getting one release in June. Oh, 100% getting the second Doctor Adventures. Love those. Right, this is like post the war games. It's been such a great series, right? And I love the way they like make his sideburns longer, so he kind of feels like the same. It was just like if he did another season. The War Master, I don't know. That cover is and the not being stellar of Morbius is really. I think that might kill the whole series for me. But Goth Opera, yeah, that's totally a buy. That's absolutely getting that. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, so I'm trying to get through Moby, and yeah, and I still haven't finished it, right? Which I think is indication. However, I watched Fallout, right? Fallout, and I was like engaged from the first minute. I wish they would do a weekly rollout, but no. They dropped it all in one go, and it kind of just kind of felt like it put pressure on me. But again, big recommend, right? For me, big recommend. And so far, Dark Matter, yeah, I don't see any reason to run and buy that, right? I don't see any reason to run and buy that. Anyway, so World War III is about to start. I have no idea what's going on with that, but like, we do. Does everybody else feel like we're on a tinderbox? I certainly do. Look, I think people here in Israel, everybody just assumes shit's going to go down, right? And they all think very soon, right? I'm surprised nothing happened yet. It's Eid, right? The end of Ramadan. I would have thought they're going to do some kind of attack, like the Iranians say, yeah, we are 100% going to attack you. Right. Okay. So I honestly, my hope is this. Right. My hope is this, that we get to a place where there's like it's such a desperate attack. Right. I mean, it's such a hope. Like we have no hope of winning it. Right. And I can see. Look, let's say if America goes down for some reason, which seems to be 100 different ways that could go down right now. America is just like on its knees. And I think it's going to get more. I think the political class will literally destroy America to stop Donald Trump becoming president, right? Which he's very obviously going to win, right? It's not even close. The analogy is Mr. T and Rocky trading it in Rocky 3, right? Like Biden's going to get like demolished. He might lose California, although there's a lot of shenanigans going on. There's all these strange. I think let me see. Post-millennial. See if I can find it. Post-millennial. There's all these. There's a website, a government website, where it's when you to help people for voting registration. That if you register to vote and there's no social security number, there's no person that matches it. They throw up no match, right? So Texas was. This been going up and up and up. Texas had like 200,000 people rejected by this government thing, right? And they're like, but we didn't ask for this. So the theory is that they're just kind of flooding the system, and they're going to put these. They want to get the illegal aliens to vote. I don't know. The other trouble with Postman, I was trying to find anything, right? Vote registration. Maybe I have to look at vote registration. Vote registration. Is that going to come over there? Scrap gets less compared to more inclusive. Pennsylvania will automatically register new voters as Dems push to give non-citizens driver's license and ID. I wonder why. Biden wants Susan Rice to lead the... that's from 2021. Okay, 2023. No. maybe it's let me look at Tincast. You know, I should really like bookmark these things as I see them. There we go. Let's look up. I'll look at vote registration. Let's look at that. Vote registration. Because I wish I could remember yeah, this is like you need to know the details for. Vote. Let's just try registration. Registration. No, nothing at all. Okay, I'll try Crowder, which is actually I mean, even though Crowder is in a slow motion implosion, God bless him, right? I only wish the best for him, right? His site is normally quite good at finding information. Vote registration. Come on, Crowder. Yeah, man, I've tried everybody else now. No, I spelled vote wrong, so that could be the problem. Vote registration. No, vote registration. Come on. It's doing a search. This is my last. Oh. There we go. Fine. So is this the episode or? 1 second. Share screen. This one actually, again, it's amazing to me that Crowder has the, yeah, April 4th, this one right now. That Crowder has the fact that when you can't find anybody else. Okay, fine. Numbers of voters registering without photo ID skyrocketing in 3 states. That's the one. At last. Right? At last. Right? So, yeah, okay. Holy shit, it says. The number of voters registering without photo ID is skyrocketing in 3 swing states, Arizona, Texas, and Pennsylvania. So in Texas, they had 710 people registered without photo IDs. Who are these people? So HAVV, what's that mean? Allows voters to register with a social security number, 4 digits. Illegals are not able to get licenses there, but they can get social security cards for work authorizations. So yeah, so these are Arizona, 220,000. These numbers have been skyrocketing of late, right? And this looks like genuine shenanigans. Elon Musk say extremely concerning. It is, right? It's amazing. They just memory hole anything that's inconvenient, right? I know that inflation is insane right now, and they just notice, they go, oh, we're surprised that inflation's up. Really? Does that shock you, does it? Do you remember ending the Keystone Pipeline in your first day in office? That directly made, that made everything more expensive, right? That put you on a absolute collision course to where you are right now. But yeah, look, clearly, this is an attempt to cheat, right? This is really good. They will try and they will destroy the country for it. So anyway, so we have him. Let's see what's going on in the Times of Israel, right? Which is the most reputable paper. Idea General meets with humanitarian organization UN pushes Israel to further agree. How about this? How about you fuck off, UN? How about that? Would you like that? That would be great. Why don't you fuck off? Where were you? Where were you when your precious fucking Hamas and most of the people who lived in fucking Gaza were raping and murdering and when they get hands on? They go, oh, tough. Well, you had it coming, fucking Jews. As I recall. Right, as I recall. How about this? Why don't we, why don't you, UN, Saudi Arabia, money, Qatar, where's money? Set up a tent city. I saw Israel's buying 40,000 tents. Why do we have to fucking pay for it? Get Qatar to pay for it. Set up in the Sinai, which is where they fucking are, and move all the civilians out there to a tent city. Then eliminate Hamas, right? No, you don't want to do that because all you want to do is make Israel look bad. Right? Oh, look at all the children you killed. What, you mean less than human war? Yes, but we got pictures of it and we don't let anybody see pictures when we do it. Yes, I know. Because Israel are fucking schmucks. Right? US Israeli officials fear most hostages held by Hamas are dead. Fuck me. That's not good. And here's the thing. Look, I don't mind Netanyahu, right? I think he slimed unreasonably and unfairly, right? First, I don't think I don't think a massacre's going on. I don't think a genocide's going on. Whatever fucking idiot word you want to use, right? I don't think that's happening for many reasons. I mean, I live here, I can see what's going on. But here's the thing: there is this unhinged hatred of Netanyahu, which seems to be exactly what the Biden White House wants, right? Which seems so. I just feel that, and this really kicked off when he won the last election, and we started doing this court reform, right? In Israel, and this has been the biggest deal in Israel, right? We've had normally we're able to, see past our political differences, right? Normally we're able to do that because I think because the army, because we all serve in the army, most apart from like this ultra orthodox group called the Haredim who don't serve in the army, basically as a skive, right? Basically as a skive, mostly. Anyway. So yeah, I see Netanyahu being slime court. I just don't trust. Oh yeah. I'm saying so. This court reform. The court reform was that the government picks the Supreme Court people, right? Because the Supreme Court was a legislative body that was just picking left-wing people. So we had a right-wing government, and it was just left, right of center. It wasn't like massively right, and they've been ever since then. We've had these massive protests, right? So I think this is all fueled by social media algorithms, essentially, right? I think that's how most of the these unhinged protests have been. Has been the sources. I think we're being manipulated to, and I think we're being manipulated to, and I think we're being lied to. Right? Look, he may not be great, but I don't want to. I don't want to go along with whatever Blinken and Biden's plan is because I don't trust them. I think Netanyahu cares about me, cares about Israel, cares about the Jewish people. I genuinely do, and I might be a schmuck. I might be wrong, right? And I don't think Biden and Blinken do, right? I don't think they could give two shits about anything. Right, I really don't. I think they're genuinely immoral people. So I think this anti-Netanyahu thing is something I don't trust. And apparently I literally just lost my train of thought because an alert just came on from my head about something I don't care about. Right, but yeah, I think it's all. So apparently when Chuck Schumer said, "Oh, Netanyahu must go," fuck you, Chuck Schumer, firstly. But again, democratically elected. Oh, we hate your handling of the Gaza war. Excuse me. If we were able to do it without you whining cunts, less people would have died. It would have been over 3 months ago. Right? It could be over real quick. Oh, man. Anyway, so I just feel the end of days are here, baby. That's basically what I'm trying to say. I just feel that the end of days are here. We got this redemptive month of Nissan just started with new energy, and the energy changed as it came in. Spoke about this last time. And we got things like this going on, right? So you should really be able to see the difference. So Amnesty International say the death in custody of Wally Daka, a 62-year-old Palestinian writer, who was the longest-serving Palestinian prisoner in Israeli jails after 38 years of imprisonment. It's cruel. It's a cruel reminder of Israel's disregard for Palestinians' right to life. Well, yes. He's a writer, and they locked him up, right? They actually just locked him up for no reason, but not so much. Lying pieces of shit, right? Lying pieces of shit. The Jews aren't playing around, says Likern. We're not going to play this fake game of organizations like Amnesty or UNRWA pretending to be humanitarian operations when they're functions for jihadist terror. They are battalions of war against Jewish people wearing the camouflage of human rights. Oh, so true, right? Here, Amnesty washes up the order of a disgusting pig Palestinian torturist, right? Yeah, he tortured this young kid today who tortured a teenage Jew, gouging out his eyes, castrating him, and dismembering him. He's your writer. So yeah, Watagaga kidnapped A 19-year-old Moshe Tamam held him hostage for 2 days, then gouged out his eyes, castrated him, mutilated his body, and finally shot him in the chest and dumped his body. You seem to be confused about who has a disregard for life. Palestinian right? I mean, like, really? U.S. executes children's entertainer. It's disgusting beyond disgusting, right? Like, and yeah, people just believe this bullshit, and they go, "Oh, Israel, you're such cunts. How are you so heartless?" Right? It's because you're being lied to. Oh, that's his mother, right? It's because you're being lied to, man. So look, I just hope the end of days come. I hope the apocalypse comes and sweeps away all this intense evil from the world. Fine with that. We're speaking of intense evil. Let's look at my thumbnail. Doink. Yeah, you thump. Oh, 1 second. Yeah, wait. Fine. So yeah, we have Jodie Whittaker making me. There's a Jodie article I want to try and get to today, right? This is the dumbest thing ever. Ruby Sunlord, Time Lord shocker. I mean, that does take a tabloid title, does it? New Bonkers Rumor says Millie Gibson to regenerate into Verada. What's her name? Sidru. Fine. No one's just got to do one thing. See, this is why. That's it. Doink. This is why, I don't. Yeah. This is why I don't play cards, right? Because I can't think of more than one thing at a time. Done. Fine. Done that. Done. Now going back to this. Henry Cavill teams with Highlander. Joker 2, a Folie, a Deux trailer. Fine. That's it. That's what we'll start with, right? And then we'll go into the Millie Gibson. And then we got the Jodie Whittaker article. I labored long and hard on this one, ladies and gentlemen. Long and hard. Yes, it was. Actually, this one, another one I didn't put up, though. 1 second. I'm in the wrong thing. Come here, over it. Doink. I click there. I click there. And there we go. Doink. That's what I wanted. Fine. For here. So let me just show you on the path to this thumbnail. Right, using AI. Firstly, I wanted a new picture of Gallifrey. This was done by Midjourney, and it was like I was able to cut out the bottom, right? So I kind of like this. It was a new, finally a new look at Gallifrey, because we always use the same pictures, right? Then I'm trying to find I had to put on the collar separately, but trying to find the right. I felt it had to be kind of a leathery type of bodice. That's actually what one would have worked quite well. I'm not sure why I didn't go with it. Right, that was actually pretty good. This one, okay, so this one was done by OpenArt.ai, which is my new AI engine of choice. Way better than Midjourney in a lot of ways. Midjourney, you get flagged for saying Donald Trump or big tits or so, like in the prompt. Well, OpenArt just does it. However, this one's from Sexy.ai, right? Sexy.ai, because it's a bit sexy. And it really is the truth. Another one. Millie Gibson, get this again. The greatest asset for this show possible. I think that's the one I went with. There we go. Right? Yeah, this one feels just Time Lordy to me. Right, it kind of worked Time Lordy and still spankable, right? The whole thing. Anyway, but Saturday's thumbnail, which I was working on, because I got to get Saturday's one done way early, because I'm offline on Saturday, so I don't know what's going on. So we've got to get something kind of generic this week. Somebody gave me a good suggestion. I can't remember what it was. It was Batgirl and Wonder Woman. I think no, Batgirl and Supergirl. Millie Gibson and Supergirl. That's a nice idea. Maybe we'll go for that. No, but I thought we'll do Flintstones, right? Flintstones. And look, Jenna Coleman and Catherine Tate as Betty and Wilma. I mean, I think it works surprisingly well, doesn't it? Right? It works surprisingly. I might put a blue bow in Betty's hair. Right? But it really, I'm surprised how well it works. But man, this one took a lot of work, right? Firstly, I couldn't decide whether or not to do Catherine Tate or not. Right? So, yeah, this is the Catherine Tate version. But before Catherine Tate, I tried... I think that's Millie Gibson. Yeah, I tried Millie Gibson, and I thought, that kind of works, but not really. And then that's Sydney Sweeney. And then, yeah, Jenna Coleman, but I also thought it could be Nicola Bryant, right? This is Jenna Coleman with a face swap on a cosplay version. And I was trying, my first thought for, was it Wilma, was, of course, Christina Hendricks, right? Christina Hendricks from Mad Men. Didn't come out that great, right? I just couldn't work it out. But finally, yeah. So this was done with OpenArt.ai, right? And yeah, I think it really works. I think her as Wilma, yeah, because I still hold that Catherine Tate, the most shaggable of the modern companions, right? I really do. Even though a threesome with her and Jenna Coleman, I think I would put up for that with that, on for science. That's just the type I get, a type of guy I am, right? I will put up with it for science. I can't convince myself to watch another episode of Star Trek Discovery for science, but humping Jenna Coleman and Catherine Tate, yeah, I can put up with that. Fine. With that, ladies and gentlemen, let me get to the chat. Lottie is here. How you doing, Lottie? Thank you for joining us bright and early. Good on you, sir. Darren M is here. He digs the thumb. All right, the thumb digs you, baby. The thumb digs you. Icky Thump, that's the stupidest thing since the timeless child. Oh, okay. I like bringing a bit of Jodie back right now because she's always like to poke fun at. Just how it says. So it seems my switch of the physical confirmed. Jinx Masood is the master. Is she really? Or he really? That's some shit. I know there's a rumor going around, but really? There's also a rumor going around. Let's see if I can find it. Hang on. This was from the Ian Levine Facebook group, which I find like an incredible trove of knowledge. Right? Where was it? Something from Andy Lane. Not Andy Lane. Lee Binding, right? Let me find. I'll look up Lee Binding. Lee Binding. Posts. Let's see if we can find it. They're not in order. Video. It was a video. It was a recent video as well of him teasing. Oh, this is it. Maybe it's over here. Of him teasing the next Blu-ray box set, right? But was it on? No, these are just pictures of him with his cat. Right? That's what? No. Lee Binding, researcher of Sky Television. How is he not a full-time artist? His work's excellent. Lee Binding. That's right, Lee Binding Doctor Who. See if we can find it there. I'm sure I saw it in the Ian Levine group, right? I'm positive I saw it there. March 14th. That's kidding me. Let's maybe look up this videos. No, not there. Fine, I'm going to go to the Ian Levine's group again. Ian Levine's Doctor. By the way, I love him as the new, the new person who's always around on the Typhoid. I mean, I just really like having his input there. Oh, I can't find this. It's so annoying. But he was teasing the colors of the next box set, which to me look like they're going to be season 7, right? I hope so. Right? I really hope so. I love season 7. Right, now season 7, they're going to do new effects. I got to say, I want to go for the Silurians, right? Let me think. Spearhead from Space. I mean, I don't mind the octopus and Spearhead from Space. He had John Pertwee girding into camera a bit. The octopus didn't bother me at all. All right, so Spearhead from Space. Silurians, that T-Rex is fucking awful, right? I'm sorry. It's distractingly bad. What else they got? Ambassadors of Space. Oh no, the Mind of Evil. You don't need new effects for that. It's fine, right? Ambassadors of Death also doesn't need new effects, right? And I would say the same thing about what's the name of the thing? Inferno. That being said, let's have a look at Cunning Monkey. See if he's done any of those. right? Which are, again, because I like the new effects. Let's say cuttingmonkey.com. There we go. Just share screen. You wait there, Millie. We'll be back to you in a second. Don't you worry, darling. Don't feel bad. Full cereals. Let's see what he's got. They have Mutants, Time Monster. Oh no, so these are all after. Right? Yeah. I'm glad he did. Was it Pyramids of Mars? I wish somebody would do Terror of the Saigons as well, because the Scarrison not their finest hour. Let's be fair, right? Let's be fair. Fine. Let's get back to the chat. Seeing as I got like 4 minutes into the chat before I got distracted. Oh, look, a butterfly. Doesn't take much, baby. Doesn't take much. Fly Highlander there. Hey, oh, it's the Rabbi. How you doing? So, Connelly, oh, you sent me in a message about a stream. Yeah, I'd love to. Okay. Unfortunately, right? Unfortunately, well, maybe unfortunately, but right, this next week is a nightmare, right? Because this week is we have Passover coming up. So I'm not shitting you, and I'm not even underplaying it, right? Overplaying it. I'm underplaying it. We have to. So for Passover, you're not allowed to own a crumb of bread or cookies or anything that's not germinated. What's the word when you add flour to water after 18 minutes? Ferment. Anything that fermented, right? So you're not allowed to. So you got to clean your entire house, right? And you got to, if you have plates, knives, forks, pots, pans, you got to put them away, right? And then you have special ones, knives, plates, pots and pans, just for Passover. So you got to get them out. We got it in much more. Normally, you got to go up to the attic and get the boxes out. We when we built our kitchen, we put them in a more convenient place. But here's the thing. You don't need one set of pots and pans, knives, forks, plates, cups, and glasses. No, you need 2 sets, because you're not allowed to mix meat and dairy food. So you need 2 sets, right? Now, before you get those out, after you cleaned everything, you then need to make it kosher. Now, in the old days, before we had granite countertops, that meant covering the entire countertops with foil and then putting linoleum over that, right? Because we're crazy. So now instead, because we have granite, you can actually pour boiling water over it and make it kosher. But even better, now we have a steamer, right? That steamer goes shh over it, boom, done. But you got to make it freaking clean first, and then you got to go through the rest of the house and get rid of anything that has. So that's this week coming up, right? That's why I want the apocalypse, right? To avoid that shit. And generally speaking, most Jews treat Passover like Godzilla, right? They think, oh my God, Passover's coming. Pack everything up. Run. We'll go to our parents. We'll go to the Catskills. We'll go to Florida. We'll go any fucking where else, right? No. That is what Passover is like, ladies and gentlemen. That being said, right? I generally think we're close to a Messianic age. And again, 2 weeks is Passover. Now, Passover, it starts off with the Paschal sacrifice, which is essentially a shawarma with lamb and some spices, right? And the way you would do it, it's like everybody would go to the Jewish temple the same night, right? And they would be like, they would just be what's the word? Shecht is the Hebrew word, not sacrificing, killing, right? Killing. You got to in the kosher way. You have to be a sheep, right? They did so much. They had to kill so many sheep for everybody that they're draining in the temple. But still, they said the blood was up. It was up to your waist by the morning. You could only be in the morning, right? And you had one sheep, and then everybody registers on that sheep. So you get together with your family and your friends, and you have this meal together. Then you go down to Jerusalem, and it's this like big deal, right? And also there's stuff built in that you have money put aside that you only spend on these holidays in Jerusalem. So it's basically you just go and party for the week. Man, I can almost taste that, right? That shawarma. I can smell it. I want to experience it, and I think it's coming, baby. I think that stuff is coming, and with it, a lot of strange stuff. Anyway, speaking of strange stuff, Fly Highland, how you doing, baby? PD Rich is there, dude. PD Rich, thanks for joining us. Let's go. my God. Yes, Sister Sondred. It's so stunning and brave to make Joker 2 all about Lady Gaga's musical talent. Oh, the icky, unwell man from the original. Maybe they can get me in there for a cameo. Oh, Icky Thump. Well, you deserve it, right? You deserve it. Geordie. Oh, Icky Thump. Yes, you do. Hello, I'm the Rabbi. Apparently it's a jukebox musical now. I know. It seems so weird, doesn't it? Well, watch the trailer in a minute. It seems so weird. I'm probably going to give the Fallout series a try later. I've never played the game. Or at least I played a little bit, like a half hour, an hour of it. Here's the thing. I like games that tell stories, right? I'm watching this show, The Gentleman, and it would be so much better as a game, so much more innovative and witty as a game than it is as a TV show. Which is somewhat sad, right? But yeah. So I haven't played that. It's making me want to play the game. The world building is excellent in it. The cast is very good. I'm very happy with it. Right? Again, it's so far I think it's very. The only thing I don't like is them dropping it all at once. I hate that. And I got so much to watch. Right? I've got to finish watching Invincible. I want to finish watching The Gentleman because I've invested 4 episodes into that. What else do I want to watch? Tomorrow, Survivor. I'm trying to rewatch Masters of the Air. I'm up to episode 4 of that. I love that show. I like it better the second time. Right? I really love that show. So Paul Tozer said hello to you, I believe. Michael Q is there. How you doing, Michael Q? Isn't Dark Matter for you? No, that's the other Dark Matter. Same name, same name, different show. That was the Brandon Braga show, wasn't it? Let's see. Hang on. With Peter Dinklage in it. Dark Matter. Brandon Braga. It's what he did after Star Trek, wasn't it? Dark Matter. TV show. Maybe we'll come up. Is this Dark Matter from 2015? Is that it? Dark Matter. Here, let me tell you. It was from 2015. I thought it was earlier than that. No. Here, one sec. What's that show? Brandon Braga. Maybe I'll just look at Star Trek Next Generation. Oh, here we go. Fine. Yeah, I thought it was in the 90s, right? Producer, let's see, he was a writer on. Oh, man, I didn't want to do that. Writer, producer, writer. Let's have a look at his writing credits. Who did it? He worked on the. Oh, yeah, makes sense. He works on the Orville. Man, the Orville. Man, did that jump the shark? Flash forward, I kind of. He worked on 24. Was it Threshold? The thing he worked on. Terran, I think it must be Threshold. Is there Brett Spiner in it? Let's see. Was it? Yeah, Peter Dinklage was in it. And yeah, Brett Spiner was in it as well. But also, yeah, Peter Dinklage. Okay, fine. Who gives a shit? So yeah, nothing to do with Dark Matter whatsoever. I'm completely wrong. Not even closely right. Rocketeer Connelly. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Absolutely. P.D. Rich. Was that P.D. Rich? Yeah. P.D. Rich, a gay man, was said she's so insanely hot. I hear that, right? That's how hot she is, right? Incredible, right? Papa's getting a very big Rocketeer for Jennifer. Yes, I am. Right? Yes, I am. So Sliders 24 then. Yeah, no, Sliders had charm. Right, especially that first series. I mean, the promise of Sliders really upsets me, right? Because especially when you had the at the very beginning, you had another scientist, young scientist with long hair, right? Who they bring in to chase Mallory and everybody throughout the realities, right? You had Crime Man in it, and they just didn't follow up on any of that promise. Actually, Sliders was the reason that Doctor Who, Paul McGann Doctor Who, didn't get picked up. So, well, we always got, it's basically the same show, they said. Okay. Michael Q is there. I think I said hello to you, Michael Q. If I didn't, I'll say hello again. It's more of a headband to Rabbi. What is that? I don't know. It's more than a headband to me, Rabbi. Okay. Are we talking about Wilma? I mean, I don't know. But Boyus, the shitty Christmas special, Last Christmas. Okay. Last Christmas gets a really bad rap. Okay, other than Clara being young at the end of it, which was a stupid idea. Everything else about it is really good, right? Is it the best Kabaddi Christmas special? Yes. No. Twice Upon a Time is the second best Christmas special, right? It's really worth a rewatch, right? Zebra Zitatas, how you doing, sir? Thank you for joining us. By the way, there's somebody on Rumble who left like all these like insanely anti-Semitic comments, and then he left anti-Semitic comment after anti-Semitic comment, and then anti-Semitic comment, and then started talking to me normally, right? Like say, "Oh man, what do you think of this?" I'm like, "Dude, you just called me a pedophile, evil Jew. We're not having a conversation at this point, right? We've had enough of Missy and Big Finish. Please just end already. I just wish I had quality, right? Not quality. Big Finish is more often than not stale. The only stuff I really like anymore is anything connected to Big Finish, Nick Briggs. And I understand how so many people can't stand Nick Briggs, right? Which I think is, I don't know what he did to piss so many people off, right? I really don't. Always seemed decent to me. I've always liked his work. Sad news about the 3 sons of the Hamas leader. Yes. People are like, oh, they killed their sons and their grandkids. The grandkids were in their 30s. Right, they're all like Hamas fighters, right? That's why they were there. I pity the fools, says Mr. T. That's what we need. We need Mr. T to go in and check it out. Reveal yourself there, Sean. Oh, you also another person I got a reply to on Twitter, who has been watching more Doctor Who. Please tell us in the chat what you've been watching. I can wholeheartedly recommend. The Horror Fang Rock, right? I've just started Invisible Enemy. Not as good. Very disappointing, in fact. Although I saw Michael Sherd appears. I'm like, oh, okay, it's been 20 minutes. Michael Sherd's ready to appear in Doctor Who again, right? Where are we up to? Fine. Matthew Pounder is here. Dominion Strikes Back. Well, we're going to look at the Joker trailer in a second. Do you remember saying the ICJ now for supporting Israel genocide? I mean, God, fuck me. Like I wouldn't suggest performing genocide, but would that just shut everybody up if we did? Right? Would you all just shut up if we did? That'd be great. Just a minute, Rabbi. Didn't the UN set Gaza in the first place and fuck it to high heaven? Yes, like they normally. Yes, Gaza is a result of UN mismanagement and Jew hatred, right? UNRWA and Hamas are completely interconnected. I love it how they reacted like they're surprised when UNRWA turned out to be full of Hamas. Like, really? We've been telling you for years, right? Just going could you say in Israel service guarantees citizenship? No, because a lot of people don't serve. They're still citizens, right? Look, we got. We got like a lot of Druzy people who are Muslims in the army too. Rabbi, the Hamas war is getting ridiculous. I know. And now Biden's saying, oh yeah, you take it 8 weeks off. Everything's going to be fine. Fuck you. I don't think, listen, again, another reason why I would like the apocalypse is just Biden's getting on my bloody nose. He seems to have started to submit to the US, though. Who's that? Biden? Not sure. I don't know. Must be Biden. Oh, Biden's toast, right? Biden is absolutely toast. Well, if I had my way, he wouldn't have been put straight to the ball. Yeah, exactly. If they lived there, then maybe they would understand the dynamic. No, they know everything, mate. They know how they know everything. Mark the Vicar is here. How you doing, Ekive? Thank you for joining us, sir. We're honoured and feel one or two warm splatterings of pleasure at your arrival in the chat, sir. The woman in your thumbnail looks like a Gallifreyan lady of the evening. Whoa! Looks like it'll be a great evening, Don Lewis. And a rather expensive one, right? A rather expensive one. With all these rules, do you ever wonder at God's sense of humor? Well, it's not okay. I can go into more detail, but I won't. Right? Essentially, why do you have to have this communal meal to start Passover? It is a counterbalance. It is to correct the evil sin of when you had the 10 brothers of the 12 tribes, right? They threw Joseph into a pit, and then as they were screaming for them to help him, right? They closed their heart to their brother, right? And they ignored him and sold him into slavery. They were going to kill him, and as a be nice, they sold him into slavery. But it was because that meal, the Jewish people were callous to their brothers, right? That's why we have to sit with our brothers and sisters together and love them, love each other, right? That's the central part of all religion, right? Our central prayer is the thing called Shema, which says, Shema Israel, listen, Israel. It's a different names of God, but it says God is one, which means there is unity, right? There's complete unity, and seeing that unity is a path to wisdom. So anyway, so that's why we have the communion. Why do we need to get rid of all grain products? Because symbolically, anything with yeast, anything that has fermented, anything that's grown, is symbolic of arrogance, right? Like when you puff yourself up with your own self-belief, right? So you inoculate yourself against it for a whole week. But essentially, the reason why God, there's all these different things God gives us to do, right? Particularly the Jews, is to do them gives us merit, right? Which makes our existence better. So there are weird things as well there are things that are literally indecipherable. Like you're not allowed to have a garment which has linen and wool woven together. Okay, whatever. Although here's the thing, right? Like I tell my I've been when I chat with my wife, right? She knows my opinion that I think that the complete absence of following any of the laws of speech were directly related to October 7th and where we are now, right? Because publicly, from our rabbinic leaders led us into the complete opposite direction. Right, and I said, that this is going to be a big problem, right? And her thing is like, well, we're a little shore in the middle of nowhere. What does it matter? So it's like this. One of the things you're not allowed to do on Sabbath is turn on and off light. So I said, what if I go into the bathroom right now and nobody sees, nobody hears? I turn we have a night light. I turn it off and on. Does it matter? They said, well, yeah, but exactly, it doesn't. There is nothing that beneath God's radar. So that's basically why we have all this stuff to do. Okay, essentially, and to make you crazy, right? And to make you crazy. This halakhic chat isn't kosher, baby. We're super kosher here. We're super kosher. We're running for the hills, says Michael Q. Okay. Rabbi Cindy Swin is Harley Quinn and Millie Gibson Supergirl. Yes! Jenna Coleman as Veronica. Oh. And Millie Gibson, Betty, today's time is perfect for the Invisible Girl, Millie Gibson. Oh, Fantastic Four. We've got to do that at some point. Yeah. I would do a live demonstration here, but I don't want it to be, I don't want to be like, a pair of tits pop out. Doctor Who is more ridiculous than ever. I'm surprised they don't have a Pet Shop Boys soundtrack to do. As Owen Jones says, as gay as a cyber. Yeah, I'm surprised I don't have Owen Jones in it. Oh, God, it's also lovey, right? It's also painfully lovey, right? You see that more and more. And by the way, David Tennant, now that we finally have we all agree that cutting off children's testicles and socially transitioning them is a terrible thing to do. Can you shut the fuck up about how good it is? How fashionable it is to sexually confuse your child, which is what they did. Fucking weirdos. Anyway, speaking of fucking weirdos, let's have a look at a couple of things we've got to look at. Where is it? Where's the Harley Quinn? Did it not download? Where'd it go? Hang on. Let me locate it. I thought I downloaded it. Where'd it go? No, not there. Okay, I'll download it again then. Okay, downloading now. There you go. Doink. Let's see. There we go. Let's look at the Joker Folie et Deux official teaser trailer.
Let's go, boys. It's showtime. Wakey, wakey.
Hey, Fleck, you got a joke for us today?
So, okay. But I haven't seen this before. But my first impression is strong so far. They're leaning into what made the first movie very strong, which was Joaquin Phoenix's performance, which is mesmerizing. Now, this is obviously it's a different version of Batman. We don't even know Batman's in this universe.
We use music.
Yeah, I really think we could have concurrent Batmans without it being confusing, right? It doesn't bother me at all. So fine, he's in the insane asylum, and again, look, 19 seconds in, I find his performance magnetic, and I think a bit of Lady Gaga's a good actress as well. Kind of annoying.
We use music to make us whole, to balance the fractures within ourselves.
Whose voice is that? I recognize that voice.
I'm nobody. I haven't done anything with my life like you have.
So there's a lot of controversy about that, right? About her fake blowing her brains out. I don't know. People do that.
Let's get out of here.
Okay, so if the movie's not like this, it'll be bad news. But the vibe of this is spot on. Right? I mean, again, I don't know anything about this, but the vibe of it looks spot on. I don't like musicals, though. Like, I don't think it's a failure, right? When you have fantasy, like someone's insane fantasy interacts with real life. They did that excellently in The Fisher King. Right, when Robin Williams was deranged for lengthy reasons. Terry the Gilliam movie. He's pursuing, who is it? Not Patricia Arquette. Amanda Plummer, I think. Right, Amanda Plummer. Is it Amanda Plummer? I really can't remember. Right, through Grand Central Station, he's madly in love with her. Right, and as he sees her, right, in his head. Everybody in Grand Central Station just joins up and starts dancing this waltz together. It's absolutely beautiful, right? And I think it very much sells it. So this is doing the same thing. I thought this would look a lot worse than it is.
What the world needs now.
Okay, that's cool. If they do that, right, this separation between fantasy and reality. They did that really well at the end of Miracle Man, Book 1, right? Where you had you saw everything from a character's point of view and reality. This is great.
What the world needs now is a love, sweet love. It's the only thing.
Oh, looks like he's a Joker copy. About to be killed.
There's just too little love. What the world is love, sweet love.
Okay, again, if this movie is like this, fuck me, it looked awesome. Right? It looks like a genuine continuation of the first one.
Tell us, what's changed, Arthur?
Wait, look at that. Again, I don't know. This is really selling it to me.
Arthur.
I'll tell you what's changed. I'm not alone anymore. That's what we should be talking about.
trailer makes this look like he's a cinematic masterpiece.
I want to see the real you.
If you didn't like the first one, I can certainly see you not getting that. I find that really interesting. Again, it might not be like that at all. I haven't seen Ghostbusters, right? I'm like, because it came out later here, and you know, why would I bother? Essentially, I don't know. Who was it? Someone said it looks awful. What about it? Is it you don't like? Because I don't understand the resistance people have to. I'm not criticizing you for it, right? I just don't understand the resistance to it. One second, let me get the Fisher King trailer, right? Because that's a great. If they did a similar sort of thing there. 1 second. Doink, doink, doink. I'm on the wrong thing. Where is it? There we go. Doink. Download. Have a look. But I said, look, for me, that looked really great. I mean, at the time, I don't know. So 1991, blimey, it's a long time ago now.
Okay, Jack, we're on the air in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, it's Monday morning, and I'm Jack Lucas.
Basically, he's Howard Stern, right?
In the world of talk radio, Jack Lucas was king.
Look, I said I want an offer, they can forget it.
To stay on top, he did whatever he had to.
Forgive me!
But one day, Jack went too far.
It was Mr. Lucas's offhand remark that seemed to have fatal impact on Mr. Melnick.
No matter what I have, it feels like I have nothing.
All right, yeah. So basically, it was Howard Stern, a shock jock, right? He was getting about to be in a cast in a pilot of a TV show, and he's got like tagline, "Well, excuse me," right? And then he has a caller on, and he says, "Oh, you just got to wipe all these people out," and then he goes off and kills a bunch of people, right? And he gets blamed for it. His career is destroyed. And he's pretty much destroyed. So it takes up, the story takes up a little bit later. But like, there's great bits in it when you see the TV show he was going to be in with somebody else in it, and you see his like bitterness and resentment.
What's going on?
And just when he was about to give up on his own life, he stumbled into Perry's.
Unhand that degenerate and remove your presence!
Oh, I'm so sad Robin Williams killed himself. I really am.
I like New York in June. How about you?
You know who I am?
A hood ornament.
No. I'm a knight on a special quest.
So essentially, he was a history professor or something like that, and his wife got killed in front of him by that person. Again, a fantastic sequence, and because you see it over like the movie, like it takes you like good 2/3 of the movie before you see the whole thing, and a head's blown off in front of him and splatters him over him, right? And he's got this personification of fear and evil, which is the Red Knight, which is a manifestation of that memory, right? It's really clever,
and I need help.
You're out of your mind!
Yes!
Now, Jack has to do something he's never done before.
Isn't she a vision? I'm deeply smitten.
Help someone else.
I thought that if I could get him this girl that he loves, things would change for me.
Oh yeah, who's it? Mercedes. She was great as well.
Let's do it right here. Let's go to that place of splendor in the grass.
And this is Perry. Perry.
Perry.
No, just Perry.
Ah, like Moses.
I think they...
I forgot how beautifully this was directed. Right, this scene where they go out for dinner time and they're like, for what? It's lovely to watch, right? It really is lovely.
I think they were made for each other. Scary.
Who'd have thought she would end up becoming a great Star Trek villain? Amanda Plummer.
True. Sometimes to find yourself.
I'm the janitor.
Yeah, that's the bit where he's like, and in his mind, everyone's dancing together in Grand Central Station. It's fantastic. I mean, I've got to give this movie a read.
Janitor of God. You find some pretty wonderful things in the trash.
You have to risk it all.
Bingo! I'm not doing that.
Robin Williams, Jeff Bridges, the Fisher King.
I love this guy! Really hug me in public again. Okay.
Yeah, okay, that was good. Anyway, that was a I digress. Digression. Now, 1 second. Bunch of things to look at. Let's go for this. We got that one. Do we start with the stupidest first? I guess so, right? I guess so. John Johnson says, Doctor has been crying out for a gay, black, transgender, prosthetic actor for years to take the part. All I had was John Pertwee and Seth McCoy. That's progress, I suppose. I guess it, babe. I guess you're right, baby. I guess you're right, baby. Yeah, let's share screen. Doink. Okay. Yeah, Daisy. My dog's down here. So I thought I'd say hello. Fine. What is this? Okay. Oh, God, this is so dumb. It's so painfully dumb. It's beyond belief, right? You struggle to imagine how this could be this incredibly dumb. And honestly, I don't think I can answer that question. I don't know. Theory: Judy Gutler's next companion actor is secretly playing a familiar character. She's a Rani now, is she? Again, I'm sure the reason they got rid of her was she was the most charismatic, best person on the screen. With Billy Gibson, Doctor Who exit already. Already confirmed her replacement is set to come in and travel with Catwoman's Doctor, but there could be a twist. The twist is she was fired, right? There could be a twist. I don't know what to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Look, listen. I am a humble man of meager mental resources. That's just the truth, baby. There's only so much I can do. So, I need to, like remember when the Doctor had to face Omega, contact, and it was a terrible sound effect, right? And they kept reusing that in Big Finish. So I don't like, no, some things you just want to move on from, right? One thing we don't want to move on from. One thing we don't want to move on from is a brilliant commentary. Brilliant commentary by Deep and Perceptive Mind. So my next guest, right, if I bring him on, I'm pretty sure he'll know somebody who could give me brilliant commentary with a Deep and Perceptive Mind. He'll help me find him. I don't know how long it'll take. It is called Dan Hanley, Birmingham's King of the Geeks.
Help you find him or her.
Or her. Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
Hello, I'm bathed in sunlight, in natural sunlight for a change here in my...
I was going to say, have you got different lighting? Is it still freezing for you where you are?
It's pretty cold, yeah. I've just got in from a quick run around fetching things and carrying things, but I had to dive on and say hello to you and the brethren.
I have to say, you've got a very patriotic little trolley behind you. What's on that?
I have. Well, that's markers. That's markers and paper and card and glue and all manner of other arty things. That's a pot with my union flag.
Okay. Are you running a daycare?
No, not yet. Things haven't got that bad yet, but I'm not ruling it out.
Okay. Well, listen, it's bad for everything. Yeah. Man, the inflation is like they're all shocked. The inflation's up. I'm like, really? Where have you been shopping, darling?
What makes it even worse? I've got another trolley behind me, which has got, you can't see, but it's actually got. Can you see it there? That's a bottle of orange squash. So it makes
orange squash, something that's peculiarly British. You don't get that outside of England, weirdly enough.
Next to my Incredible Hulk box set.
Well, yes. Oh, which one? Well, that's it. That's the Bill Bixby one. Don't make me angry, Mr. McGee. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. I don't listen. Well, what's the point of having a box set? You just need to watch 3 episodes. You basically just recycle them. It's the same. It was such formulaic TV. I love it. Don't get me wrong.
I haven't really seen it since I was a kid. That box set cost me £2.
Oh, okay, that's totally worth it. Totally worth it.
Yeah, so that it's been a while ago now, but yeah. So how's your day been, mate? What's news? What's going on?
I watched the first episode of Fallout, and I thought that was rather good.
Oh.
I've nearly finished listening to the Big Finish release, Dark Gallifrey Morbius Part 1. And boy, did they do everything they to make me hate it. Even it's quite good, but I'm not sure it's good enough to continue with. Right? I'd like. Okay, here's the annoying thing about it. There's a voiceover at the beginning which sets the scene, which says there was a great civil war and Gallifrey and Morbius led the forces and was eventually disposed and destroyed, and that's where. That sounded awesome. That's the thing I wanted to bloody hear, right? That was the story they wanted to. So now it's like later they're on the Sister of the Khan's planet. They're on Khan with it's essentially a not steampunk. It's like a steam pirate punk. I don't know what to call it. It's like a piratey sci-fi boat-ridden thing with which isn't bad. Just got which has a lot of women in it. A lot of women in it, and the worst cover. The cover literally made me hate it.
Yes, we've just. I mean, to be fair, it is called the Sisterhood rather than the Brotherhood of Khan. But on the other hand, you would.
But why not call it the Sisterhood of Khan then? Do a show called that.
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it, it's not very progressive, is it? Why aren't there any men in the Sisterhood of Khan?
Absolutely. But Maura, why is she wearing a bidet on her head? Somebody explain that to me. It looks like or a potty, and actually the actual story itself isn't bad, right? I'm not sure it's good enough to get me to continue with it. Remind me who's writing this one, mate. Is it? It's all the same Tim Folie, and it was supposed to be a 3-disc box set telling a complete story, right? Like telling like an audio novel, right? Which is a good idea. Right, and the story is interesting, but again, it's like actually they just made a movie of it. You know that bit in Dracula where he's on a boat and everybody dies and he's the only one who survives.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. When you make that the entirety of the story, you're like, what? All the other bits, you don't want to have him ripping out a virgin's throat.
Is a fascinating character. In having Sam West play him, they've got a bit of a it's heavy artillery that they haven't used. A man who loves Doctor Who, who's an actor that the British public like. He's always been in good things, Downton Abbey or Creatures Great and Small. The list goes on and on and on. And yet they're not pulling the trigger on him till now. And when they do, they put him out in this where you can't see the bugger.
You can't see it, and he's not really in it either. He's in it as a background character a little bit. But it's why call it Morbius, right? And again, the voiceover story, backstory is the story, right? They should have done like a Game of Thrones, like political thriller, devolving into a civil war, like House of the Dragon, right? And it would have been and they would have been able to do it. They should have been able to do it. It would have made him a much stronger character, much more interesting character.
This has that kind of potential, and obviously I haven't heard it yet. But from how you're speaking, and the fact that this, like the last few of Big Finish's sort of bigger swings at something more conceptual and long and rolling, it seems to be missing the mark on a fundamental level. And yet,
so look, I would say
back to this. I mean, it's perfect.
This was the model they should have followed, right? It's like 4 parts, and set different parts.
Ian Diaz always laughs at me whenever I say how good this was. He simply won't believe me.
What? Like, why would he believe it? This is excellent.
I don't know.
It's the strangest thing. So, like, rather than spending $35 on this Morbius thing, I would say this is the way to go, right? Davros, it's really excellent, right? It's really excellent.
When was this released, mate? Is it longer ago than I realised?
Yeah. This is 2020 was the re-release.
The re-release.
2006, and you can tell, right? You can really tell. Better times.
18 years is a long time, but they've proven they can do this.
But can they still do? Listen, look, 20 years is a long time, and you're older now. You're slower. You're tireder, right? And that's how I would describe Big Finish now: older, slower, tireder, Right? It's and it, you know, I think there's a lot of DEI stuff forced on them by BBC, but also, you know, look, the lovely world they live in. You know, it's like they're just disconnected from reality. But anyway, this was something that's written to be as a good story, right? Which I wouldn't say that of. I mean, it's not bad, right? It's not bad, but it's not good enough. Really, it's also not good enough. Have you heard this rumor? Right? This is the craziest rumor. By the way, next box set rumor. Maybe you've heard something along the same lines. Season 7, right? I'm thinking season 7. I'm trying to find the video before. Lee Binding put something out on TikTok showing the background color, right, of the next box set. And to me, it looked like season 8.
Yeah.
Look at it.
I
mean, I know they've been
this.
working on it.
I have seen this, but in this instance, I can honestly say I have heard, and sometimes I do hear things. In this instance, hand on heart, I've heard nothing. I have no idea what's next. I've no idea when it's going to be released. I mean, the press release is coming, I should say. My guess is usually it's either Tuesdays or Thursdays they go with that.
1 second.
Yeah,
here. I've just found the video. I've just found it here. So we can have a, I would say a bit of a scoop, but yeah, this is a reasonable bit of a scoop. But we'll get back to the insane story in a second.
Who collection news. I'm Lee Binding, I'm the artist behind them, and I'm just about to show you what the colours of the next collection box set are going to be. And here we go. Look at this.
So this to me, it seems like the orange, the yellow, the blue. It certainly feels earlier, doesn't it?
I've got no inclination towards this.
Your product design. This feels like season 7. I mean, it doesn't feel like one of the monochrome seasons, because I think that'd be more like blue and gold. But like the orange really ties it to Pertwee. Orange is pretty much...
particularly if Inferno is in the box set.
Right, exactly. Well, obviously.
Look at this. What sort of colours are these? Is this a gold? Is it a brown? Is this kind of looks yellow? This is kind of like bluish, kind of maybe. So is this a kind of 60s? Brownie's very 70s, but it might be gold. It could be something from 1996.
The Doctor's always in the dead
it's
centre.
not 96, was it?
The Doctor is always in the dead centre. The Doctor, all the way through that season, pretty much wore jet black, didn't he?
Through what? It was season 7, you said?
Season 7.
Oh, he had the cape, you know, the red lining of that, and yeah, I guess so.
It's season 25, isn't it yet? Is it?
Right, but this doesn't feel like season 25 will be different colours. I think season 25 will be. I mean, I think they will lean into silver quite a bit. Silver, blues, maybe reds. Right? I don't know. Yeah. But here, let's see if this gives any more clues.
Who knows? Just these are the colours. Speculate wildly in the comments if you want to. I hope you enjoy it when it comes out.
So yeah, I think it's imminent to be released.
Is that the actual artwork sort of... I mean, I did hear that it was about to be announced. I did hear that. I just haven't heard which one it is.
Right.
Is that the actual artwork blurred out, or is it just his colour?
No, because he makes it on layers, and that's obviously the background layer.
Okay.
That's what I would say. Anyway, I'll say enough of stuff that makes sense and we care about. Let's go and look at this. Okay, Bob, have you heard this rumor? This is insane. So, blah, 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 season 14, Millie Gibson leaving, totally not fired, totally fired. Why Ruby Sunday might be a Time Lord in Doctor Who? Let's say. Judy Gat's 15 Ruby Sunday represent the first new pairing of Doctor companions just before the Chibnall range with the former showrunner, largely favoring TARDIS team. Okay, so one-on-one dynamic. Davis' restoration on formula is into Doctor Who season 15. But almost immediately changed Gibson to Sethu. However, the coming comparisons to switch Coming across which may not be all that it seems at first glance. With Davis writing some of the best Doctor Who stories of all time. Okay, fine. Tell me why you think she's a Time Lord. Okay. A few things that Ruby Sunday don't add up. That doesn't mean she's a Time Lord. Not only is her genetic lineage a complete mystery, but the goblins in the Church of Ruby Road seem unusually fascinated by her. As did the Doctor, by the way. I'm not sure if you saw the episode, but I'm not sure if people watching have seen the episode. The Doctor is definitely on a mission to stalk Ruby Sunday, right? That is very, very clear from I think even the first watch of it. Seem unusually fascinated by her unexplained connection to the enigmatic Mrs. Flood, who wasn't enigmatic at the beginning, right? Anita Dobson played Mrs. Flood. And at the beginning of the episode, the Doctor's TARDIS is in the blocking her way, and she says, "What is this thing? Get it out of the way!" Right? And then later, when Millie Gibson, when Ruby's going to go in the TARDIS, right? She walks around it and she looks over at Anita Dobson. And she says, "In you go, criminal lighter!" Right? And she goes,
"That's it."
Right. And then she looks to camera, right? Breaks the third wall and say, "What's the problem? You never seen a TARDIS before?" So something happened in between those two appearances of Mrs. Flood, where now she knows what TARDIS is.
Yes.
So who knows what that is? People are saying maybe she's Ruby Sunday. I don't know. Okay, fine. So these are things that are up. Undoubtedly come as a shock when it's revealed. So the theory that Ruby Sunday could unknowingly be a Time Lord holds water. Wow! Like 2 and 2 equals 674 million.
It holds no water whatsoever. It's just something that it's just an empty bit of speculation because things are going to touch quiet again. That's all.
Do you remember the game show 321 with Ted Holness and Dusty the Bin?
Of course I do. Yeah.
There you go. You go with
the clues. Yeah.
Right. Those clues were insane. It's like this. You know, you add 3 together with another 3. You get the square root of infinity, which means yes, it's a Ford Cortina. What? Made no sense, right? Made no sense. So Ruby could simply be the first.
Well, you and I have spoken. Right.
Oh, you still there? Yeah, sorry. Hello.
I'm still here. Yeah. Well, you and I have spoken several times. Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You and I have spoken several times about how people can't stand in this day and age not being right. And I think it's just a case of if they lay claim to every single possible hit theory that anyone could conceivably have about this character over as long a period of time, then they will invariably at some point be right. They would have said something that turns out to be sort of right, half right, kind of right, and they'll take that win rather than take any possible sort of L or admit that they have no idea. I'm happy to admit I have no idea.
Right, no,
and to be honest, I don't really care. And the fact that I don't care is on Russell T Davies.
Right. By the way, I think he is toast beyond toast.
It's Russell's fault that I don't care about this stuff.
Yeah, no, because it's not that engaging. I think this new era is you got that new report about transgender kids with the NHS stopping doing treatment. The Sam report, is it?
I've been sent this by a very invested party. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, I've been talking a little bit about it to people that I know. I mean, I don't know much about this sort of thing. I'd never heard of the Tavistock Centre, for example, until Lee told me about it. Problem Being told me about it, and some of these matters. It's not that I haven't got a take on them or that I don't care about these issues. Of course I do. You know, I've raised 6 children. Of course I do. I'm very invested in my own family. But there's this idea that as a Doctor Who podcaster, all of a sudden one must have a take about these matters and these issues, which are really quite
insane. This is what
it's nothing to do with Doctor Who.
Done to the bloody show.
Yeah, of course. And so I will be reading all of this and seeing where it interconnects with Doctor Who, with the BBC. So I am interested, of course I am. But the amount of people who seem to want to talk about this rather than Doctor Who, which is what I do, it bemuses me a little.
But again, weirdly, it's yeah. This is what you know, part of Doctor Who now, because he insisted on making it like a central part. But there's a massive backlash going on. I think called the Sam Report. Like what's the name? The guy who did
it's called the Cass. It's called the Cass Report.
Cass Report. That's the one. That's the one.
I will read it, and I will have an opinion about it. Like I have an opinion about most things. But
so here's the thing: this will get Doctor Who in the headlines, but the Sun now, and you know the tabloids in general, they know Doctor Who is headline clickbait, right? They know trans issues headline clickbait. So when they have Yasmin Finn in it, as we know we're going to have, and they're promoting. Which is the reason Ian isn't watching it, right? In David isn't watching because they are promoting transgenderism, which I think is a terrible thing to do, right? They're going to be saying, "Well, look at this insidious propaganda." That's so, like we know this hurts children now. Will you? And this is aimed at children. I think he is going to be in a shitstorm, and he pretty much deserves it. Right.
So
why did you make it not about being trans? How about that?
You see, I don't know who's commissioned this report, whether it's the government, the NHS, whether it's the IBA. I don't know who's commissioned this report on what behalf.
Apparently, it's super pucker. It's super kosher. She's been doing it for 4 years.
I don't know how much, whether its origins are in. And are in relation to how it connects to broadcasting in particular. So I don't know anything about it, and I will read up on it, particularly if it tracks back to the phenomena of the influencer, particularly the trans influencer, because obviously Russell T Davies cast a trans influencer in his latest take on Doctor Who. So that's where it could, but. Not knowing the origins of it, who it's aimed at, what the data that they've retrieved, what the aim for it is, who commissioned it.
So, essentially, this is changing NHS policy for gender-affirming care. They're saying even socially transitioning is now detrimental, as we all fucking knew, as everybody knew.
So it's a firm judgment. See, I've been sent articles from the Guardian and from the Daily Mail. I've been sent this and that and the other screenshots. I'd rather read the actual report. Find out.
There's so much like spin to debunk it.
Exactly.
But literally, somebody spent 4 years and a lot of money to convince insane people of the bleeding obvious, right?
Well, yes.
Yeah, I heard what's the name? Graham Linden being interviewed by Julia Hartley Brewer on Talk TV, who had his life destroyed because he said this was wrong. Right, he's the guy who wrote Father Ted. They wanted him to remove his name from the.
There's a man who was put in the situation where his life became about these matters, kind of against his will. It's something he had an opinion on, and he got embroiled in it.
Right.
And so he had to seek because his life became completely about this, and so he sought the further reading. He knows, he's steeped in it. If I want to find out about any of these matters on any level, I would go and look at what someone like Graham was saying, and people on the other side as well, the other side of the argument, India Willoughby, and listen to what they're saying as well, and decide who I agree with. People who are more active, not necessarily activists, but people who are active, who are invested, who are authoritative, and have loudish voices that can speak from an informed position, whichever side of the aisle they're on. Well, rather than just some gobby, some gobby person on YouTube who may talk about Star Wars 6 days of the week and decides to make a video and decides to make a 10-minute video about this because it might get a few clicks. I'd rather read what it's actually about.
The interesting thing is this report definitely highlights that any investigation has been stymied by the lack of ability to have a conversation, right? Because you're shouted that you're a bigot when you just ask, "Wait, is this okay?" Right. So that was like so the toxicity around the debate.
Yes, one is discouraged from speaking about it at all
Right.
This issue, which could potentially, if it's as widespread as some parties would have you believe, then it could affect every family in Britain. And yet one is discouraged from talking about it, despite the fact it could affect people that you love. So there's that. We're also, it's expected that we don't speak about it if it's not about us, because it's not our issue. If it's not about us, then we should shut up.
That's just the excuse to shut you up.
Of course it is. But most importantly of all, they insist that we don't think about these matters.
Yes.
It's as if
100%.
Thought is the most damaging thing of all. They don't want you to think about it. Why would that be? Are these arguments really that fragile that somebody simply thinking it through in their own heads is damaging in some way? That interests me. That rings alarm bells. That's the same with whatever issue. If somebody tells you to not think about it, and you think, well, hang on.
Okay.
We're supposed to just walk out blindly into traffic and not think about that.
I would say that there's a 2-point guide to if you're right or wrong about anything. So, is what I think, or feel, does that match completely what social media algorithms tell me is the right thing to think and feel? That's part one, right? And the part two is, if I think about it, right, is this thing completely fucking insane that I believe that, kids cutting off their bollocks is a good thing, right? Yeah, in that case, you've lost your you're being controlled. That's a fair assessment. Fine, anyway, let's try and get through this nonsense. So Ruby Sunday, unknown to be a Time Lord, holds water somehow. She doesn't have the knowledge or immense intellectual talents of other Time Lords.
They don't want you thinking. They don't want you thinking about this. Never mind anything else.
I'm trying to pull the thread of how did you work that out? Hold on. Okay, Ruby could also simply be in her first regeneration, meaning she hasn't undergone the transformative process yet. As such, I mean, maybe as much she may only look 19 years old, and that is her genuine age. Ruby could be one of the younger. I don't give a fucking hell. Verada see-through playing Ruby in Doctor Who season 15 would be better than a new companion. Actually, I agree with that. I do agree with that. But look, I'm sorry. It just seems they were more interested in having a non-white TARDIS than making a good show. And I understand
although I think that is possible, I do think that for us to claim that when we haven't seen, we don't know when her character is introduced into the series. For all we know,
I said seem. It does seem that way.
But we do get people stating this as fact quite a lot. This is about a character that we've never seen. As far as I'm concerned, for example, if we first meet this character. We could first meet this character in episode 8 of season 1, and she could carry over in the most natural of way. And we might really latch onto her, and she might just drift into this role in the most seamless of ways.
Right.
You just see what I'm saying? So
yeah. Oh wait.
We just don't know.
1 second. The Sydney Sweeney is knocking at my window, wanting to give me a blowjob. Maybe that could happen.
You see what I mean? See, it's so far into the future. I mean, this is the
that's the thing that's killing this era. That is the thing that's killing this era stone dead. I was just looking at the earlier. I was looking at Big Finish. Right, they got the new a couple of months. They got a new Tom Baker set coming out with terrible companions, like a recast Harry Sullivan and somebody called Cross, who was like. They always make her look smaller on the covers because she looks like a brick shit house. She's like huge, right? Yeah. And she doesn't look like a companion in any way, shape, or form, right? So this latest one, firstly they've removed them from the cover. You can't see her anymore. But also, yeah, I saw it was recorded in 2020. I'm like, no, X through that. There's no way I'm going anything made in 2020. Right, when the insanity was strong. Ruben's Country should last more than one season of Doctor Who. Well, I guess no, this is just stupid. I can't. Okay, it's doing my bloody head. I can't. Leave me alone. What's this? Doctor Who season 14 breaks a 19-year-old Rusty Davis streak, and it's a cause for concern. One detail regarding Russell. Oh, watch out for those causes for concern. One detail regarding Russell Davies' role in Doctor Who season 14 not only breaks a long-running streak, but they should catch it and put some clothes on him in there. But it also causes worry for the heading of the show's new era. What, the intense gayness that you do 24/7? Maybe that. I don't know. I mean, like, how bad is it going to be? Like, is he going to be like wiping like this white substance off his lips, saying, "Oh, that's just my shaving cream. Nothing to worry about." Could be. Like, I would like to. That wouldn't. Nothing surprises me anymore. Nothing goes, "Oh no, they could never do that." Right? Never do that. Oh, speaking of, I got one episode through Star Trek Discovery, and I finally realized why it's so awful. Right? It should be called Star Trek Narcissism. Right? It's all these glassy-eyed people who have never done anything, have no self-control, and think they're the most wonderful people ever. I mean, Tilly is the perfect Star Trek Discovery character. It's Star Trek narcissism. They're all just so convinced of their own brilliance. Oh, God, these people are awful. Anyway, where am I?
I just consider myself, my life is so much better for having expunged Star Trek Discovery from my life.
Even Keith doesn't watch it, right? Even Keith gave up in after the third season.
Yeah,
I'm like, and like Keith is the most forgiving person, most forgiving. Like, he's such a nice guy. He's nothing like, I've only ever seen him play bad guys, right? But he's nothing. He's the polar opposite of how I see him on screen.
And he's a proud Star Trek. Well, he was a proud Star Trek completist as well, in that he'd seen literally every single minute.
But once you break that, that's when your connection to the series falls apart. Right, that's why the comic book industry imploded over COVID, because they stopped. They made it so people couldn't get the comics, and once you miss one, you might forget it. That's shit. Leave me alone.
Yeah, if you've got an unbroken run of ASM and then you miss a few and you break the habit.
Right. I mean, I was like that with Big Finish. I was a completist, right? And then came Stranded, right? I gave him 2 box sets. And I was like, no, I don't want to be lectured by you weirdos. Leave me alone. And since then, I buy hardly anything now. And I bet I'm not the only one.
See, and it's that lag time. It's that lag time as well. That's bound to affect Big Finish because they record even further in advance than Russell T Davies has with Doctor Who. Right. So I mean, at least I would imagine. I mean, we've said before, haven't we? There's probably some re-editing being done on season 1 based on certain things about the Christmas special that didn't work. I would imagine that they're still being worked on, that all 8 of them are probably being tightened up in some way, being shaped up in some way. But this is the drawback of being so far in advance. You know, for example, it's nearly 2 years since the Star Beast was filming on the streets of Bristol, which means it's well over 2 years. It's probably close to 2.5 years since Russell T Davies wrote the script of that. You know, and
and he would. Do you think he would have written that script today?
I think he'd think twice.
I think he was amazed how badly it went down. Right. I think he was amazed at how badly Davros went down. Right.
I've never heard him speak about the reception to the 60th, and I've never really seen him much on screen. But you could tell, as I said before, you're quite right. I've never seen him look so shaken up and coy and almost like a hunted animal as he looked on the one show 2 days after that Davros minisode had gone out. He looked sheepish. I've never seen Russell T Davies look like that before. Yeah.
I you know why? Because he knew he'd screwed the pooch at that point. He knew at that moment how much he fucked up, right? Yeah. And it was he was denying it to himself.
Yes.
But So, but also again with this cast report, they are going to get raked over the coals because it's an election year. People are going to use it as an issue. It might help their viewing figures, or maybe not. Maybe people will just be disgusted with it, because if it becomes like the thing to be disgusted with this, then everyone's going to be like, "Oh, how dare you!" Right?
They've still got time. It's still well over a couple of months. It's a month until the series begins, so 3 months until the series ends. They've got time to go into that 2-part finale and re-edit it, and potentially
there is no way in a million years they would do that.
I don't think they'd remove a character completely, but I think they could dial back on. Do you remember how Rose Tico was in Rise of Skywalker? How she ended up being in about 2 scenes? aren't they? You know, just saying.
maybe I don't know, but there's so much in Rise of Skywalker they never released. Like Matt Smith was in it.
Yeah,
right?
there was lots that was filmed, never, and not in the final
I
film.
don't, like if it wasn't so unbelievably shit, they should have really released it as like a 6-part miniseries or something like that, like the expanded version. But it was shit. Nobody liked it. Anyway, back to this. So what's the thing? It's the ending of the street. Rusty, the original showrunner, is this isn't something necessary. It says celebrate after Christian was Doctor Who era defined by division and underwhelming reactions. Rusty was attempted back bring the TARDIS attempted back into the TARDIS fold. It's his missive clearly to restore the old magic from Doctor Who, first launched in 2005. Hasn't done that. Having said that, I still like the Church on Ruby Road, right? I'm looking forward to seeing what they're doing next. As much as Doctor Who Season 14 is rehashing the past, it also signals the dawn of a brand new era with Disney Plus distribution deals, securing a healthier budget and wider audiences before shooting Atlas' reign begins. I get, well, not really wider audiences, but I think their global audience is going to be lower than it was with David Tennant and Matt Smith, for example. Okay, well, Doctor Who traditionally hides behind a wall of secrecy. Stands tall ahead of the season 14 premiere. Some salient points have dipped in. Okay, what is it? Doctor Who season 14 titles that have been revealed, as well as directors of the rights for each, including they've done that before, haven't they? Right, Moffat, Boom. That's not.
Yeah,
I remember that being a thing. He was announced them before. Right, we were like, oh, who's doing this one? I remember that.
Yeah, it's been done before.
So is that what they're saying? Rossi been Crazy Side 24. He may give us calls for concern. Okay, what the fucking calls? Fucking tell us! Oh, God, are you paid by the fucking letter?
Yeah, they want you to scroll at least through 3 or 4 more ads before they're going to tell you what they think
okay.
you should be fearful of.
So fine. So you got said Rogue, Boom, different name, Bridgerton. Okay, blah 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 blah. That's relatively unprecedented in modern Doctor Who, with the closest equivalent in season 1, 2005. Will come with by Rusty Davis. That he's doing most of them. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's doing 6 out of the 8, right? With the close. Okay, so what's your point? Rusty Davis wrote 8 episodes in the show's 2000s. Come back to. A caveat, there was 13 episodes, blah, blah, blah. So what's the... So 6 of this one. For the remaining seasons, his original stint, Rossi wrote 5. I don't think I can make it through this, right? Rossi Davis, season 1, written trend makes sense. I can't, okay? That's... waffling and saying fucking nothing.
It's absolute and total bilge.
Oh God!
Which
we
are
need
the clowns that write this stuff?
Yeah, one second. I think Radio Times had the thing about Jinx Monsoon being the master.
Really?
One second. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, you've heard the rumor that Jinx Monsoon is the master, right?
She isn't.
It doesn't seem likely to me, right? So okay, could a very familiar foe be on their way back? I mean,
well, we know that the master's on his way back. They've already told us that this character isn't the master. They've already pointed us properly in this direction, all the way through. Well, from Wild Blue Yonder. Right the way through to the Church on Ruby Road. It's all there. I can't believe that people. It's more really. This is more culture war bullshit. It's oh, you're gonna have a trans master. That's what basically people. And this is again people on both sides of the aisle going for this. It's not. There's no truth in it. Everybody. I'm not saying it'll all be fine. I suspect that I'm going to hate every single moment that character's on screen, particularly as it's a musical episode. I don't like musical episodes of anything, but please don't have nightmares. This character is not the master.
Listen, I'm not, you're very sure. I'm not going to be so categoric. I don't trust it. Speaking of Empire, Davis said, as for Jinx, she stepped off the stage after Broadway run on Chicago to get straight onto playing the characters of Maestro in Doctor Who. Oh, we got the name of That's why, because the name is Maestro.
Yeah.
It's a performance and a half. Could that be?
So we've got illiterate people now who think that maestro means master. It doesn't. It means teacher. The word maestro means teacher.
Oh, okay. I was one of those illiterate people. I was like, oh, that sounds like it could be the boss. It seems like the sort of thing they would. So Shurikat was going to return as the 15th Doctor. Absolutely blew us away. It didn't. I think absolutely blew us is what really happened. It was so cool to see her transfer her skill set to this show. She fits Doctor Who so well. Means that I probably don't then, right? If she fits Doctor Who so well. High praise indeed. I found that the Maestro directly translates to master.
It doesn't.
Really? One fan wrote on X, formerly Twitter, Maestro, drinks long, jinx as a master. Squee. Anybody writing squee? Okay, if anybody writes that in a tweet, this is what you got to do. You got to get a sock, right? Just a normal sock, and take a shit in it, right? Take a big healthy shit in the sock, squiggle it up, and go smack him in the bloody face repeatedly. Don't you?
Well, the idea that Radio Times, at one time a prestigious organ, a trusted media organisation, is building an article that tracks back to one fan on Twitter. Get a grip, Radio Times.
It's just like, why?
It's unreal. Honestly, this is just, friggin' ridiculous.
I mean, but then again, what if they are the master? I don't know. One added, if Master of Jigsaw Soon really is the new master, then does that mean the piano is a TARDIS? Well, people have been saying that as well. Because this picture looks like they're climbing out of the TARDIS.
I can understand why people... No, I won't say.
Other pointing out, be too soon for the Master return. Last played by Sasha Dewan. Frankly, I wouldn't mind seeing him return as a Master. I thought that was actually one of the things that was working in Whittaker era. I mean, he needed to have direction and a good script, but I thought he was. I think he's a good actor.
That's the thing. That's the thing. If you were to recast the Master now again, which Russell will almost certainly either be doing or has done, if you're to be recasting the Master now, you'd probably struggle to find a better person than Sacha Dhawan. But the real, because he's so good. But unfortunately, to reinstall him in the role comes with so much baggage attached to a version of the series which failed so spectacularly.
Does he care about that?
I don't think Dhawan doesn't. He doesn't. He's completely in the dark. Actually, I don't think he is in the dark that it failed, because he recently appeared
Does Russell Davis?
Yes, Russell knows it failed.
Yeah, but does he care?
Have it on all accounts.
He had all the time bollocks in the specials and in the Ruby Road.
I think Russell is trying to have his cake and eat it. I mean, in my view, there was a clear retcon in the anniversary specials about the Timeless Children, and then in the Christmas special, he's kind of framed it ever so slightly. He's made it opaque, so that if people who are invested in that stare into it for long enough, they'll see what they want to see.
Right.
So I don't think he's had the courage of his convictions. I know that Russell didn't like the Timeless Children. I know this, everybody. I wouldn't use that phrase if I wasn't 100%.
Well, he likes Chibnall a lot more than he hated the Timeless Children. Let's be fair.
Publicly.
I think listen, he's gone way above and beyond what you need to do publicly. Like he is elevated the Chibnall era to a state of normalcy, right?
Part of the reason why Russell's been, people have succeeded in capturing him ideologically, is because he is at heart a decent man, possessive of integrity. And he thinks the best of people, and he's got a certain code of conduct. He's made him a bit of a sitting target for all this nonsense. But generally speaking, he behaves incredibly professionally for the most part. He is very, very loyal. So there's all these things too. Yes, the version of Russell that we're seeing now, it's clear that he is intellectually compromised, but his values remain largely the same. Unfortunately, I do believe that now we're going to start to see the seams of this production sort of pick themselves apart if what I'm hearing about this report is true. The one that we were talking about earlier on to do with the Tavistock thing. I mean, that does sound like a bit of a landmine. It's a landmine that he stepped on some time ago, which has taken nearly 2 years to explode. If what you're saying is accurate, but generally speaking, the things that Russell and people like him who work in the media say publicly, and you can see why they would do it. It doesn't make them necessarily liars, but it does make them professional. But from our point of view, as the punter and as the pundit sat watching and taking all this stuff in and then commenting back on it, you know, we've almost got to appear like to make claims to credibility. It's like we've got to be able to project ourselves into their brain or something like that, or to have this sort of greater understanding, or simply to be mega cynical. But the truth of the matter is that this is a business like any other, and people, generally speaking, to thrive in it, they have to operate professionally.
They have to operate professionally, but the rules of the entertainment industry are not like what they used to be. They do not care that the audience doesn't like what they're doing, and they blame the audience. I mean, Bob Iger just
that's absolutely right. Yeah,
right. They just want their actors. Anyway, let's see more nonsense they can heap upon us. Another said, as much as Jigsaw would nail the role, I don't think the Maestro will be the master. I don't think Russell T. Davies will introduce one of the show's biggest villains in the second episode of a new iteration. That's actually a fair point. Another one said, Maestro seems to have supernatural abilities. Like the character, I mean, it seems to be probably something connected to the toy maker. Like, what was that thing he had in
the toy maker? The character from the Mind Robber. It's those kind of characters from Doctor Who history we've got to look back to. That's the kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree. Fine. Are you frozen? You still there?
No, I'm still here.
You weren't moving. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if I needed to
pondering, have I said anything problematic on this show? But then again, I've been saying things problematic for about the last 4 or 5 years.
Well, yeah, it happens.
It's the reason my YouTube channel is shadow banned.
So this is an article I wanted to get to. I think we'll do this on Saturday. Saturday, if I can force myself, I'll do another asparagus moment on the show.
This is comedy gold. Absolute comedy gold.
Did you see my thumbnail for today?
I haven't. I have to confess I haven't.
Where we up to? This is it. If I'm a Time Lord now, do I get to dress for the occasion? I feel this really feels like you know, it matches the design aesthetic of Gallifrey. Right, the sort of leather bodice sort of thing, very good. But I love having Jodie Whittaker in the background. Like we haven't used her enough, right?
Yeah, bring back Jodie Bear. Yeah, I mean, there she is. I mean, Millie looks stunning as a time.
As always. I mean, another reason I'm very sad she's only in for one season, because man, she always comes out looking fantastic. By the way, my Saturday stream, yes. I went for a new version of Flintstones. Jenna Coleman and Catherine Tate Flintstones. I think that's perfect, right? I don't know what they're saying, but it's got to be funny.
Catherine Tate with great big boulders. Absolutely.
Well,
brilliant.
she has. That actually has. So before she was Catherine Tate, I tried her as Millie Gibson. And also Sydney Sweeney, but I think Catherine Tate definitely the way to go.
Catherine Tate is stacked, so it does look absolutely right. Yeah,
it does sort of work. I was going to say, do you have something coming up? Yes, you do have something coming up. What is this?
We do. We will frolic from 8 p.m. as ever over on the Type 40 YouTube channel. So come and frolic with Russell T Davies, Mickey Mouse.
Frolic, what at all?
Myself and a hand-picked team of a panel from the Type 40 community here for a big round-table discussion on where we are, what's going on, and how hugged do you feel by Russell T Davies? What on earth do I mean?
I don't want him to hug me. Keep away from me. No, don't touch me. Don't touch anybody I know. Just stay far away.
I don't think, to the best of my knowledge, he's not sniffed anybody's hair yet. But yeah, so you can come and do that. And yeah, we answer that question and many, many more from 8 o'clock. Who with? You'll only find out who's there on the squad when you're there too. So yeah, it's a good one. And yes, I crack some obscene jokes, but I think I'll get away with it just about. Let me know. Yeah, but so yeah, all the usual kind of culture war stuff. This is pretty much what's on our minds after the trailers and the titles have come out, all that kind of thing. So yeah, get on it and get commenting, and make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, or check you're still subscribed and all that jazz. Do you know they unsubscribed so many people from the channel that when I asked in the comments section, you know, I said check you're still subscribed, there was about 10 people who had to resubscribe, and there were people who watch and comment all the time. I can understand if they were to do it to people, for example, who haven't been on YouTube, haven't used YouTube in months, or it's an account that they used to have, they don't have anymore.
It's bullshit because the algorithm notices that you're saying a thing that appeals to people who don't share the politics of YouTube, so that's why they're throttling you.
Yeah, I'm saying we've been shadow banned for a very long time. With the channel that, you know, we do pretty well considering, but you know, when you look at the stats,
the amount of people who know who I am, the amount of people who know you are, our channel should be in 100,000 levels. It's ridiculous. Everybody knows about me. Everybody knows about you.
I can't speak for me, but I know that everybody knows about you because so many people ask me about you. Is he really like that? Is he really a rabbi?
Yeah, I really am. Okay, yeah, I keep going when the camera's off. Yeah, I really am.
People ask me. I mean, people ask me about everybody who's on Type 40 and the various strands to Type 40, but a hell of a lot of people ask me about you.
Well, there's a lot to ask.
One person in particular last week, which I'll have to tell you about privately another time. But yeah, thanks for the plug, Rabbi, and thank you everybody for suffering me for the last 30 minutes or so. I do appreciate it.
No suffering involved. Anyway, I think with that, I'm going to wrap up, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I think it's time to go and have a Jimmy Riddle. You know, the normal things in life.
The best things in life are free, mate.
Especially a particularly good urination, right? A good strong stream. I have to tell you, I'm always feel somewhat envious of my sons, right? When I hear them go to the toilet and I hear that fire hose, right?
It's like the jet wash.
Me, yeah. I don't know. That was the thing of the past. Now you get a gentle trickle. Much like, by the way, you pointed out the Are You Being Served movies coming to Blu-ray, right? My favorite bit of that was when they were pouring the Chianti, right? And because they're doing it in such a way, it looked like being naughty Mr. Lucas wanted to go and have a pee. Last thing before I go, right? Last thing before I go. Have you looked in the latest Warp talking about the creation of Doctor Who? There's a great thing near the beginning where they imagine if it wasn't Verity Lambert, but the guy who was like the caretaker producer. I know his name, but I can't remember it.
You mean Bonnie Webber, don't you?
Something like that, right? Right. Yeah. And if he was a producer and it went out in the summer, I suppose. But they had Trevor Bannister in it in Chesterton role, right? Which I like really kind of worked.
I'd go for that.
Really, strangely enough, it really kind of worked. Well, we had Mr. Rumbold in Invasion of the Dalek Invasion of Earth.
We did. Yeah, I was only watching Are You Being Served the other night, and yeah, I was laughing like a drain as always. It was the episode where we found out that Mr. Lucas's real name, first name, sorry, not real name, that his first name was Dick. You can imagine where that went.
I do remember that one. I remember it well. I was watching Invisible Enemy last night.
Yeah.
And I forgot Michael Schur turns up. Invisible Enemy. I was like, we should be excited for this one. Yeah, K9's first appearance. First episode, not good, right? First episode is a big come down from Horror Fang Rock, right? But I will persevere. Fine. With that, Trevor Bannister plays a serious role in the Tomorrow People. By the way, there is a rumor now. Saffron Steele is back at Big Finish, which is a big recommend. That the Tomorrow People is coming back as well, which they filmed the whole season.
I'm sorry, I'm just reeling from the idea that anyone had a serious role in the Tomorrow People. But then,
yeah, you're making a very good point. But yeah, Colin, we don't believe you. Okay, you gone down in our believability. What was the name of the people with the first story that like were being used by Jedekiah? I can't remember. They were non-tomorrow people. I don't know.
Were they the two bikers?
That's the one. That's the one. They were two bikers. And has anybody ever told John he's gay? Right? I think if John finds out he's gay, he would be much happier. Right? He just seems very uptight and very gay. Right?
I always got the impression that John had no idea that he owned any genitalia at all. It's as if he.
It could be.
He always seemed.
Although they have that one story with the spacesuits aliens that sucked. They were like that was clung to your bodies. What was that? The blue and the green, or blue and the whatever it was. I remember that was quite good. Anyway, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you for joining me back on Saturday. I'm going to hit the end, bro.